What's up, YouTube? T-Movies here. Now, since school's pretty much back for almost everyone now, now I decided to just go ahead and do my top 10 favorite high school horror films. Now, there's always been some great high school based films where you talk about Breakfast Club or Mean Girls or whatever, but there have been some really awesome horror based high school movies around. So, with that being said, here is my top 10 favorite high school horror flicks. Alright, coming in at number 10 is going to be Cherry Falls. Now, in the film, it stars Michael Biehn, who, come on, is a very underrated actor. I mean, Michael Biehn, whether you talk about Terminator, Alien, Michael Biehn's awesome. Anyway, in the film, Biehn plays like this sheriff named Brent Markin, who pretty much discovers the presence of like a serial killer in his like sleepily Hamlet and all. And so like since the killer has been like targeting he's been targeting mainly virgins and all, including both male and female and all. And the death ends up pretty much causing panic in like much of the local high school population, including Merkin's daughter, named Jodie, played by the late Brittany Murphy, who's actually among the victims, since she has pretty much not yet slept with her boyfriend named Kenny, played by Gabriel Mann. And so, pretty much, Merkin is trying to take down the killer before the killer targets his daughter and all. It featured people like you had Jesse Bradford in this, C.J. Quaz, Jay Moore was in this. I mean, it's pretty funny to see a comedic in a horror film like this. But Cherry Falls is probably one of the most original films you'll see. I mean, a killer who's only targeting virgins, that was kind of original there. This movie also got released in 2001 or probably 90s. Can't remember the actual year it got released in. But Cherry Falls it's really good. Really creepy. It's not gory or anything, but it has some pretty cool, violent, like bloody violence in it. I mean, it's a really good one. If you guys haven't seen Cherry Falls yet, give that one a shot. All right. Coming in at number 9, it's a 80s horror B movie gem, and that is called Student Bodies. Now, this is a horror comedy about a anonymous killer who's known as the Breather, played by Richard Brando, who like terrorizes the teenagers of a high school named Lamp High, and he pretty much targets them by killing every student who like indulge into lovemaking. So yeah, like Randy said in Scream, one of the rules to survive a horror film: don't have sex. Like seriously, never have sex in horror films. It never goes well. And so like the long list of suspects here includes a school's psychologist named played by Carl Jacobs, including a nurse named Janice E. O'Malley, as well as a principal named played by Joe Whiskey, and the virgin student named Toby, played by Kristen Ritter. Not to be confused with Jessica Jones herself. But yeah, and of course Toby wants to knows she's innocent, and so she wants to take down the killer herself and all. I mean, this isn't as great as those iconic 80s slasher movies. Like, this is no Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, nothing like that. It's more of a B-level horror flick. And Student Body, I haven't seen this movie. It's been a while since I've seen Student Body. But Student Body is actually kind of a guilty pleasure horror film of mine. I quite get a kick out of this film. Another movie that's, it's funny, in the movie Cherry Falls, it features a killer pretty much targeting people who haven't had sex yet. But in Student Bodies, it features a killer who's targeting people who are having sex. So, So sometimes you can't win in a horror movie. If you have sex, you're gonna get killed. If you don't have sex, you could get killed too. So I guess you can't really win there. But anyway, all right. Coming in at number 8. Now this horror movie is awesome. It's a little dumb, but it's just great. And it's a film that got released a couple years back called Tragedy Girls. Now this film stars Sadie and Michaela, who's played by Deadpool's Brian Hildebrand and X-Men Apocalypse's Alexandra Shipp. They play the two leads in this, and they're pretty much want to like boost their social media fandom and all, and so they pretty much decide to become anonymous serial killers and killing people, and they're getting not like they're getting publicity, but people don't really know it's them doing the killing, you know. And this movie is gory. Unlike the last two films in this list, this movie is completely gory. I mean, there is literally a gym scene. If you see the gym scene in this film, you're probably not want to go to another gym again. Like seriously. Of course, you had Josh Hutcherson was in this. Craig. You had Craig Robinson. I mean, this has some pretty interesting cast members here, and you shouldn't really these two girls shouldn't be that likable or anything, but I thought they were the characters was really great. I mean, both Hilbrand and Shipp both had great chemistry with each other, and like I said, the kills was cool. The film is from a first-time director, and I thought he did a great job. Right. I mean, sorry about that. Tragedy Girls, it got released in 2017. Yeah, it got released in 2017. I remember seeing it at Empire 25. And it's a really good one. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Tragedy Girls yet, it's a really good one. Pretty cool, violent, gory, and I love some of that stuff. Alright, coming in at number 7 is going to Jennifer's Body. Starring Megan Fox, and I think it's probably Megan Fox's best role. Where of course, Megan Fox plays this high school cheerleader named Jennifer, who ends up getting possessed by a demon, and she ends up pretty much eating every guy who has stood a chance, who has never stood a chance with her before. And she also befriends with this nerdy girl named Needy, played by Amanda Seyfried. And of course, Needy finds out what's been going on, so she wants to try to stop the carnage and all. I mean, this is gory. I mean, she pretty much eats almost lots of dudes in this. Yeah, she's like, I guess you could say she's a hotter version of Elaine Warnos, really. But Jennifer's Body, I mean, crazy that this movie is from the same screenwriter of Juno. It's scripted by Diablo Cove. And it's gory and really cool cast too. Like you got you had the likes of Amanda Seyfried, Chris Pratt was in this, Adam Brody. You also had J.K. Simmons was in this, Johnny Simmons, Amy Sedaris. I mean, really cool group of cast members. I mean, yeah, this is of course a body possession film, and it's a great one. And that's just probably aside from Transformers, this is definitely my favorite Megan Fox role, because she was just awesome here. I mean, yeah, if you guys haven't seen Jennifer's Body by now, it's 10 years old this year. I mean, it's a really good one. Alright. Coming in at number 6, I'm going with the Faculty. Now, the Faculty it's also, I guess you could say, a bit of a possession movie as well. It's where these high school students end up finding out that their faculty in their high school, are possessed by aliens, and the fact, like, they had a really cool group of cast members playing the faculty. You had people like Christopher McDonald from Happy Gilmore fame. You had Famke Janssen. Jon Stewart also played one of the faculties here. I mean, it was, not to mention Salma Hayek. I mean, it was weird seeing. It was a bit weird seeing Jon Stewart in a film like this. And a few other people got in this. You had Usher, Sean Holtz-Oakley, Laura Harris was in this. Josh Hartnett, Jordana Brewster, Danny Masterson. You even had Lewis Black. I mean, great cast members. I mean, it was also directed by Robert Rodriguez, who, I mean, I thought Robert Rodriguez did a great job at this film. I mean, it's not like gory or anything, but it has some pretty violent stuff in it, and it's one of the most original horror films of the '90s. Like, it got released in 1998, and it's a really good one. Like, if if you guys never seen The Faculty by now, give that one a go. It's really good. Right. Coming in at number 5 is going to The Craft. Now, this is one of the most, this is a really great '90s horror genre. I mean, it's, of course, takes place in a Los Angeles high school, and it's about this young girl named Sarah, played by Robin Tunney, who gets transferred to LA high school, and she ends up finding that her telekinetic gifts appeal to like a group of 3 wannable witches, and of course, and they also are seeking a 4th member for their ritual, and the other friends here, you got Bonnie, played by Nave Campbell, Rochelle, played by Rachel True, and Nancy, played by Firuza Balk. And other people you got in this, you also had Christine Taylor. You had Skeet Ulrich, Breckin Meyer, Brandon Strong. They're really cool cast members in this. Directed by Andrew Fleming. It's one of the most iconic movie witches, of the '90s. I mean, The Craft, I guess I shouldn't really call it much of a horror film. It's more of a fantasy horror. But it has horror themes in it, Like, if you guys haven't seen The Craft yet, it's a '90s horror gem. And also, not to mention, they're remaking The Craft as well, which I hope it's as good as the original, but we'll see that. But anyway.
What? What were we talking about? Craft. Craft? Never heard of that one.
Alright, coming in at number... I'm doing my 10 favorite high school horror films.
By high school horror films, you mean like movies, horror movies like when you were in high school, or high school themed horror movies?
High school themed horror films. Alright, anyway. Alright, coming in at number 4 is going to Graduation Day. Now, this is about this high school track runner named Laura, who ends up dying from a heart attack after finishing a 30-second 200 meter race. And so you got a killer who's wearing a sweatsuit and a mask, who begins killing off her friends at the school. So I mean, yeah, this is, of course, this is a nice movie to watch if you're graduating high school. And not to mention, one person who appeared in this film, Vanna White, is actually in this movie. That's right. She's not only the one from Wheel of Fortune. Vanna White has appeared in films, and Graduation Day is one of them. I mean, yeah, the killer is pretty much targeting the girls, the girls' closest friends and all. And Graduation Day is another. I think it got released in the '70s or '80s, around those times. I mean, like Student Bodies, it's no Friday the 13th, it's no Nightmare on Elm Street or anything, but it's kind of a B movie guilty pleasure of mine. And I'm not gonna lie, last time I actually watched this was when I graduated high school. I was like, you know what, I really want to see a high school graduation horror film. So I rewatched a Graduation Day, and the movie still holds up. I mean, it's a little dumb. It's very has lots of horror cliches, but it's a really decent one. All right. Coming in at number 3, I'm going with Prom Night. Of course, the original. Now, I'm one of the few who didn't mind the remake with Brittany Snow and Idris Elba, but the original with famed Scream Queen Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis had some really iconic horror films in the 70s and 80s. Whether you talk about Halloween, who remembers Terror Train? I think she was in the I'm trying to remember if she was in the original Fog or not. I gotta double check that. But anyway, yeah, of course this is where like a killer are targeting people during prom night. And Prom Night, it's a night. I think it got released in early 1980s. Yeah, it got released after Halloween got released. It's a great one. I mean, it has some it had some great kills in them. This is an iconic horror gem. I mean, Prom Night is it's nothing like Friday the 13th. It's no Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween or whatever. But it's a really decent little horror gem. I mean, if you guys never seen the original Prom Night, give that one a go. It's a really decent one. All right. Now, speaking of prom, my number 2 favorite is another movie that parts of it takes place during prom, and that's going to the original Carrie. I mean, of course. Wait, sorry about that. Anyway, Carrie is of course based on the book by Stephen King, and it's of course about this girl with telekinetic powers who uses her powers for not really the best stuff, and her overbearing mother is like her mother is not what you call the greatest mother in the world. And of course, and Carrie decides to go to prom with Tommy Ross, played by William Cap. Of course, you guys know how high school is. There's gonna be a prank there, and then when she's at the prom, she gets covered in pig blood and all. I mean, the original Carrie, it's iconic. I mean, Sissy Spacek, of course, played Carrie. You had Piper Laurie as Margaret White. It was one of John Travolta's earliest roles. Of course, he played like the one of the bullies here, Billy Nolan. You had Amy Irving as kind of the friend of me, Sue Snell. You also had PJ Souls as the mean girl here. You know, Carrie was directed by Brian De Palma, who, by the way, gave us Scarface. So kind of weird to see Brian De Palma go from this to Say Hello to My Little Friend a couple years later. But yeah, the original Carrie, it still holds up. It's one of the best horror movies of that era. Sissy Spacek got her Oscar nomination at a very young age. Really good one. And I also quite like the remake too with Chloe Moretz. I thought the remake wasn't all that bad. But the original still holds up. I mean, if you guys still never seen the original Carrie, give that one a shot. And if you watch Carrie, you're probably not going to want to go to another prom again. Anyway. Alright. Coming in at number 1 for the best high school horror movie of all time, that goes to Scream. Directed by one of the horror masterminds of all time, Wes Craven. About a killer, of course, in a ghost face mask, targeting this lead girl named Sidney Prescott, and loads of her friends. He even ends up killing people in the school, like including Henry Winkler's principal character. Kind of weird seeing the Fonz in a horror movie like this, by the way. I always thought that was weird casting choice, but anyway, of course you had Jamie Kennedy as Randy, who gave us the first rules of surviving horror films. Of course, you had Matthew Lillard was in this, Courtney Cox, Rose McGowan. Really great cast. And yeah, the original Scream. I also like the sequels too, but the original Scream still and will always hold up. It's kind of one the movie that really kind of make fun at the slasher genre, and it kind of redefined the slasher genre for what it is and all. And Scream it's just great, and still very disappointed that Wes Craven is not here anymore because he was just an icon. I mean, R.I.P. Wes Craven. But yeah, the original Scream definitely will hold up, and the sequels are good too. I love the sequels as well. But that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 10. Wait. Number 10, Cherry Falls. 9, Student Bodies. 8, Tragedy Girls. 7, Jennifer's Body. 6, The Faculty. 5, The Craft. 4, Graduation Day. 3, Prom Night. 2, Carrie. 1, Scream. Now, there's loads of other ones I probably could have added as well. Let me list. The Tension was pretty good. That was like, The Tension was like, Breakfast Club meets Scream meets Back to the Future. It's kind of a weird film, and that also had Josh Hutcherson in that. Final Destination 3, Slaughter High, Tamara, Horror High, Halloween H2O, Cutting Class, which was one of Brad Pitt's earliest roles. It's a really good one. But let me leave it to you guys. What are some of your favorite high school horror movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here, Team Movie signing off.